Autumn in Indiana, the fall colors, the mild days, the annual visitors. All are familiar elements to Hoosiers at this time of year. But some visitors come to Indiana for other reasons than the beauty of the leaves. To them, we are but a brief respite on an annual cycle that has existed since time long past. Like an angel descending unto heaven is how one Hoosier poet described the Sandhill Crane. And each year, since before the time of man, these large and graceful birds revisit our heartland on their annual trek to warmer climes.
Well, the Sandhill crane, at one time the population of cranes that comes through Jasper, Pulaski was endangered. They are now off the endangered list. There are between 25 and 30,000 estimated in this population. They nest in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and a little bit into southern Canada, and then in the fall migrate through Jasper, Pulaski on their way to their wintering areas in Florida and southern Georgia. They're a large bird. They stand about 3.5 feet tall, have a wingspan of 7 feet. They weigh 10 to 12 pounds. They're basically a blue-gray in color, and the adults have a bare skin patch on top of their head that's bright red.
Our large visitors favor the northwest area of the Hoosier State, specifically the Jasper-Pulaski Wildlife Area near Rensselaer, an 8,000-acre reserve that for more than 60 years has provided sanctuary for each new crane generation.
When the birds were at their low point in the 30s and protection of their nesting habitat began, this property was also being developed. And at that same time, wetlands continued to decline in Indiana. So it's been a gradual buildup. The numbers that occur here today, oftentimes in excess of 15,000, historically did not occur. That's been a recent buildup since the 40s. Cranes have an interesting form of migration. Geese migrate by actually flying. They flap in their entire migration. Cranes, on the other hand, glide, or do a substantial part of their migration by gliding. And what they do, and why it's so dependent on weather, is they seek thermals on warm days with north winds, and they rise on those thermals to high altitudes and then glide to the south. Depending on how far north their origin is, it could be either a slow or a fast migration. They generally fly or migrate just during the daylight hours and stop at night. So for instance, when the birds leave Jasper, Pulaski in November, it will take them 3 to 4 days to get to their wintering areas in Florida. About the same as if you took a leisurely drive to Florida, driving about 8 hours a day.
The greatest number of cranes will visit Jasper, Pulaski in November, before traveling on to winter in the sunny south. But they will return again in March and February, certain evidence of the drawing power of the Indiana wild.